Testing, and we're live.
It's real late in LA, and this is the Life and Times.
It's Life and Times.
Yo,
hello.
Listen, we don't have valet parking. Okay,
we don't.
We have valet pissing. That's what we got. That's what we do. We protect you from the elements outside. We ran into
highwaymen.
If you see a highwayman out there and you're with the Life and Times crew, it's okay. We got you.
It's all right.
We scared them away.
We got you covered.
It's our side of the street.
This is our little spot.
This is what we do. We're going to get a rope over there. We're going to get everything.
It's our spot on the concrete right here.
Yeah, we're not moving from it, bro.
This is ours.
This is my spot right here. Besides that, we got Alex. We got Gills. Welcome to the Life and Times.
Welcome.
Yo, what up, guys? Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling today, my friend?
Feeling blessed, man. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. That's good, man. You know, here at Life and Times, we do like to do a mental health check from a 1 to 10. How are you feeling? For me, I'll go first. I'm at an 8, bro. Like, I've adjusted. I had to move. I had to do all this stuff. I was stressed. I was working all this time and this and that. BS that you go through as you grow up, I guess. Yeah. And I'm there. I accept my responsibilities. Not going to dodge them.
There we go.
I'm at an 8.
There we go, dude.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I'd say I'm probably at like a 6-7. All right, we're hanging in there. We're taking it day by day, remaining optimistic. And yeah, we're hanging in there. How about you, Gills?
You know, right now I'd like to say I'm at like 7, but earlier it was a pretty stressful day at work, so it's kind of like a 4 or 5 for a minute.
Oh no, it gets like that. Work will take it out of you.
Yeah, it ebbs and wanes, but now I've kind of rebounded and I'm feeling good.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Feeling good is what we should be doing, man. Seriously, it's too much out here. The world's careening to some places.
Every day.
If you go in the news, it is careening. So like on the day to day, try your best. You know,
try your best.
Because at the end of the day, it's about authenticity. Like we don't do anything for a look. We don't do anything because it's popular. We don't do things because everybody's doing it. We actually like what we're doing. We have some authenticity.
We do things we want to do.
Yeah.
All right. Plain and simple.
How about you? I know it's like a lot of forced, sounds and waves when you get into this industry as far as like music making and stuff like that. So do you ever find yourself like fighting against trends, or are you just for it?
I mean, honestly, like I'd like to think everything about my music goes against the popular trend, and it's not necessarily something that I do to fight against popular trends. I'm not against popular trends per se. I just, at the end of the day, want to do what I want to do, and it's like I can only do what inspires me. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, it's just not in line with the popular trend in hip hop right now. So
yeah.
Excellently put, dude.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. Rap is very young.
Mm-hmm.
Barely 40, bro. So, like, it's just a change of the guard every 5 to 10 years. I feel like if we gave it some more time, it would be solid lanes. Because it's always going to be rappers that can rap.
Yeah.
It's always going to be lyrical rappers, melodic rappers, and popular rappers. It's all around. I just feel like the lane, or it's not as cool to be certain things right now. Speaking of all that, how did you get into your art form? Like, how did you get into it?
Well, I don't want to give too long of a backstory, but
no, this is a pod. Go ahead.
All right. Well, it all started, 4 No.
Abraham.
Right. So basically, I was always kind of into hip hop. I really got not always, correction. I got really big into hip hop after high school. I remember to this very day, this was like mid 2000s, and a friend of mine burned me several albums. This was for youngsters back in the day. We used to burn CDs, right? And we
different,
right? It was a different time. And so basically, this was pre-streaming era. I remember he burned me. I had listened to a bunch of music, and I just got my iPod, so it really started taking off. But he burned me 2 albums, and one was Enter 36 Chambers by Wu-Tang Clan, and the other one was Violent by Design by Jedi Matrix. And I was off and running. I mean, those 2 albums, I was like, damn, I didn't know hip hop could be so dope. Like it was. Are we allowed to curse?
Oh yeah.
It was like a fucking
Life
like
of Tom's.
it was just so fucking
Sorry,
different. Yeah, it was just so
guys.
fucking different.
Yeah, there we
some of our
go. Yeah,
listeners.
just throw it in
Just
there
throw it
because
out
some of our
there.
listeners
Right.
be like, "Hey, stop cursing." I'm like, it's a podcast.
Gotta earn that TVMA rating.
No, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it, dude.
You fucking got it.
Yeah,
Life of
but
Tom's.
I see what you did there. But basically, yeah, it was. I was off and running. You know, I still loved a lot of music, but from that point on, I think I definitely started to pivot to the point where like hip hop became like my favorite genre by far, and it was just, you know, I can't even explain it too much. I mean, looking back on it now, I think it was just a matter of the fact that I really gravitated towards the fact that it was like about how tough can you be with your words, you know, not with your fists, not with guns. You know, and me being kind of like the shorter guy, it was just this natural appeal. And this was something I kind of came to realize later why I really liked it so much, is because it was about embodying, like, you know, mentally how strong you can be, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, fast forward, I've gone through a lot of dark periods in my life. You know, I was really addicted to drugs for a long time. And I remember at some point, you know, going back and forth, doing the whole rinse and repeat cycle between rehab, you know, and going back out, using rehab, etc. My last treatment program, I remember I was with somebody who had known some from another program, and he was also a fan of underground hip hop. And we started vibing. You know, we kind of started to push each other to write some bars, and started writing some stuff down. And next thing you know, one thing led to the next. I went to a sober living where people would they kind of knew that I was doing this, and they kind of put me on the spot at the end of our weekly house meetings and be like, "Yo, can we get a 16?" And that kind of kept me on my toes.
Early support.
There we go.
Yeah, you know, kind of like, and at first I was kind of like, "Oh man, I got to come up with something every week."
There's a little pressure, yeah.
Yeah, but I kept, you know, it kept me going because I really liked it. And, you know, fast forward, and I like to really think that when I take a step back and look at it in the grand scheme, I personally think it must have been God or the universe, because I can't even fathom how it could have gone from this point to next point to next point. Next thing you know, somebody I encountered who was into hip hop and was also into, like, you know, video games and like old school anime and all that stuff too. And next thing you know, I'm coming to see him perform. And I asked, like, "Yo, do you think I can get up on stage?" And they check out my SoundCloud, because that's all I was doing, just dabbling here and there, putting stuff on SoundCloud. And they liked it. They started putting me on, started performing around the San Fernando Valley, actually, right here. You know, I did Universal Bar and Grill a few times.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yes,
Lancaster
sir.
Gym, right down the street.
Right down the street.
Yeah, and so, and then, you know, like, that's that. And then pretty much last year, you know, in 2020, things kind of slowed down, and I kind of looked at it as a sign, like, hey, why don't I actually put out an official release? And started working on a debut album that was released last August, September. So
Yeah, congratulations,
Damn,
bro.
dude.
I mean, seriously, your journey,
Thank you.
your story. You know, we met each other passing a bunch of times. You know, at the job. Can't say the job. Don't want to get robbed at the job. But just as far as like intros in the art form and like even your history, like some of my earliest memories with my pops, we were going to meetings. You know, he had his issues,
Sure.
and one of the earliest reasons I even got into psych is because of that. You know, the environment and all that stuff. And I've used my art form. I'm a poet. I write as well, besides the podcast. But the podcast is an ongoing thing as well, so it's pressure going with that as well now. But
it's awesome, and I'm glad you got that experience too early on.
yeah, so like that's one of the reasons. But I've also been in dark spots as well. So like you're not alone in that journey, bro. I've overcome a lot of things, and it was through my art form. You know, so like I'm just grateful. I do feel like it's the universe at sometimes, because like I didn't think I could get out what I was in. You know, when things were happening and when I was writing. So I was like, oh, thank you. So I'm just grateful. What about you, Aaron? Like, what started you off? I know it's a teacher, but like that intro, you know?
Yeah, I feel like there came in like a couple different stages. Like there was early on, right? There was like middle school, when it's like the first kind of seeds of creativity started to being planted. Then it came into high school, and it got gradually way more serious in college. I'd say, like, to like kind of piggyback off what you said, dark spots often create beautiful opportunities for your art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I always live by this quote that I said, and you know, people hate it, but like to create, you must suffer. You know, I was suffering at my most when I started. Like when I put out Secluded, my pops had just passed. I was 19, and I was getting heavier and heavier into the party scene, and it took me a while to get out of it. But like just getting those thoughts and feelings out around that time, I think it saved me in a lot of ways. You know, it gives me a goal, something to focus on. You know, to get out of those habits, and I'm just grateful.
Yeah, it's the beauty of art. I get it, man.
Art typically does that to its artists, you know.
But so everybody's initial attraction was somebody nearby, right?
Yeah.
Like friends, environment, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what keeps you going? You know?
I guess I want to see how far I can take it.
Yeah.
And to put it in a nutshell, like early on, my whole thing, you know, I'm not opposed to making money off of my music.
No
you know,
one. No one.
I'm not.
No one.
I want you to make money.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to make money.
You know,
yeah.
Sidekick. I got you.
Yeah.
Chase the Smeckles.
Yeah.
Smeckles everywhere.
Absolutely.
Every single coin. I feel like Pac-Man every time I wake up. Waka, waka, waka.
Yeah, no, money is good.
It's great.
But it was right from the very beginning. It was not like my main priority. I kind of expected that, you know what, it's almost, you know, like I'm being real here, like in any sort of artist, I'm not saying you shouldn't strive for your dreams, but it's the fact is that there's just so much music right now. And at the end of the day, I realized like I got to put the passion first and foremost. Like if the money comes, great. But ultimately what's keeping me going right now, is I just want to keep finding new avenues for creativity with my music. Honestly, one of the biggest things for me is I wanted to work with as many people as possible, with as many other creative minds, you know, and I've gotten to work with some really cool people on the first album, gotten to perform with some amazingly talented fellow MCs and even other genres. Sometimes they would put on the lineup. So it's just one of those things, like that's kind of what's keeping me going at this point. I just want to keep pushing myself. You know, I want to, you know, I really got into producing, making my own beats because
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, you know,
save a lot of money.
That part right there. I mean,
listen, I know a lot of rappers. That production money,
ooh,
that's a bag, bro.
Oh, absolutely. And I thought to myself, well, look, I mean, like, you know, it's like if I just dabble around, just learn a few basic stuff here and there. I'm still learning, of course, but I'm surprised. It's like, man, you know, like it doesn't turn out that badly. And you know, people have commented and said, like, yo, you know, your beats are actually pretty good. And it's like, well, I just try my best to do what inspires me with the knowledge that I have available at my disposal, and hopefully I keep growing upon that. You know, and so that's what's kind of keeping me going, is just wanting to push myself to see how far I can take this.
Yeah.
Very well put.
Yeah, no, that baby's going crazy, but that's a part of life sometimes. People just roll by.
Shut up, baby.
Listen,
hey,
that's what keeps
life's
me going.
In session.
Yeah, life's in session.
Yeah.
That's what's keeping us going. But nah, bro, seriously, as far as the creative tip, as far as making money, it has to be passion first before anything, because, bro, it's going to take time. Nobody who's successful got it the first year. Nobody.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody. So like one of the things that keeps me going is that, one, I'm only in the first year, right? It takes 7 years to officiate a business for it, you know, to be viable. And I don't know. I enjoy it. I'm challenged every week, right? Like, guests, myself, these topics, opening up, talking about things out of my usual realms. So it's exciting, and I feel like I can make it. That's what's keeping me going. What about you, Aaron?
I feel like as I find my passion for writing again, you know, because it went through that little lull there. I think what's keeping me going is seeing the progress I've made since I was just like maybe 16 or 17. You know, now I'm like 26. I've got projects under my belt. I've got experience. I've got more wisdom than I did at 16, what I'm doing right now. And I'm like, okay, what if I continue this at the same rate? What will I be like in 20 years? You know what I mean? What will I know then? What will my craft be like then? And I feel like lately that's what's pushing my creativity, right? And to kind of piggyback off of what you guys said earlier, trying to write just to get something done, just to have something written, isn't a good point of motivation.
No.
And so kind of like pivoting projects lately, I've refound that passion. It's like, okay, it's not good content, good projects aren't going to come from that type of writing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just shit I've kind of been dealing with lately, and that's kind of what keeps me going.
Everything that keeps us going is hard work. Not everybody's gonna get it. It's you versus you, right? It's you versus you, and then it's your passion. And your passion is like the medium between the struggles right now and the eventual hump that, the hurdles we get past. And I don't know. I feel like I got the drive, bro. Like, I'm from Philadelphia, right? Kids my age they ain't make it to this age, bro. Like, kids I grew up with, gone, dead, outlived. Role models. And now I'm a role model. People are looking up to me. I have a responsibility, and I'm not going to shirk it. I feel like there's a lot of people, they're like, oh, whatever. You know, as far as like people looking up to them and stuff like that, I'm like, bro, you're everything to this person. You have to do more, so I will do more. That's my drive. That's my passion, to do more because I saw less. So
and that drive and passion leads back to legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what do I want to leave behind?
Legacy is a big thing.
How do I want to be remembered against those that like loved me and like cared about me? Those that counted on me. It's like, how do I want them to remember me when I'm gone? Is big drive, big passion.
Yeah, it's
I
the
definitely
actions
want to
that we
leave my
take
mark.
in life.
Yeah. Networking. Okay.
Yeah.
We did that today.
Let's talk.
Look at that. You meeting people.
There
I
we
feel that's
go.
part of why I'm here.
There we go.
I think that's his life and times too. I was networking with this
times.
guy. I'm glad you're here.
Right. See how that worked out?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the life and times. But no, like, you're gonna have to talk to people. Okay? You have an idea.
It's important.
You have a dream. You have something you're invested in, and to actually spread your knowledge or spread your awareness of whatever you're doing, you're going to have to network. You have to talk to people. You're going to have to try. And I think that was like the hardest thing. Like, now I'm comfortable when I'm talking to somebody, stranger, on the street, anybody. I'm like, yo, got this podcast, this is what I'm doing. And it's led to a lot of worlds I probably would have never met half the people or done half the things if I didn't just talk. And I think that's like the biggest thing. Like, you have to network.
Yeah, you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. I mean, like, we have artists that just drop, dip. I don't understand that. That, like, consistency. But we'll talk about that later. But, like,
Yeah, it's a part of every step of the process,
Yeah.
You have to be able to communicate your ideas to people. Plain and simple.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it's just you performing for yourself.
Yeah.
speaking of performers, you got to deal with, like, people with lack of character out here. Like,
Every day.
trash bags,
Every day.
relationships, work, freaking yourself, how you deal with yourself. It's ongoing, right?
Trying
Like,
to navigate
nobody was
everything.
raised like you were. They don't have the same morals, same values, and stuff like that. And you're combating, like, traumas inflicted from the world and how people adapted to them.
Right. Yeah, everyone's got their own
Same
set of
on-
coping
yeah.
skills.
Oh, yeah.
Different understandings, different levels of self-awareness.
And where I'm at is, like, I'm trying not to spread my stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I know I have these issues.
Trying to keep it in check.
I'm trying to, like, it's like, when I start feeling it, I'm like,
Why
go home.
do
Go
I
read
feel
a
like
book.
that, huh?
I'm not going to spread
What am I
it.
doing?
What am I doing out here? This is life and time.
What does this say?
It's kind of spooky.
I think somebody once told me, it's like, you kind of used the analogy that, like, most of us, aren't even aware of this, but we're basically going through life on our backs carrying a bag of shit.
Yes.
And then sometimes
Yeah.
we turn around and it just smears all over other people. And then we get like,
yes.
it was like, whoa, why are you pissed off with me? Like, what the hell? Because you're smearing your shit all over me.
Yes,
So,
man. I'm sorry. Everybody at
Yeah.
the bar. God.
right? It's an extensive process to learn how to let go of that bag of shit.
It
So,
is.
you know,
It is.
It's an
'Cause
everyday
like,
thing.
you made it like a pride, too. Like, oh, no, this is my shit.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, at least you got smeared by my shit.
Yeah, like, you got regular fecal matter on you.
Right.
Like, what's going on?
Don't you know who I think I am?
who I think I can be? You don't listen to Kanye? What's going on? Bruh. Yeah, dude, this is tough. Because then you run into people who aren't.
They aren't as aware.
They're not working on this stuff, bro.
I don't
It
give a
is
fuck
just
about
like
you.
shit, and they don't give a fuck about you, and they're like,
You're trying to take like
Oh,
like
man.
the correct path, right? Of like, yo, let's communicate,
let's
right?
talk about it.
No.
Nah, I'm not talking
Nah.
about it, bro.
Right.
I
Shut up.
love that type of shit, man.
I'm like, great.
had this landlord situation, right? I moved out so I can talk about it. So
Yeah.
me and this guy had an issue, right? We just didn't like each other, and instead of like saying this or saying that, this dude would just look at me. So it's like my last day. I'm like, hey, X your name. What was our initial issue? And he couldn't say it. Like he just couldn't say it. I was like, what happened?
Couldn't bring himself.
And he couldn't bring himself to say it. Like stand on like I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like every time I walk in, you could tell like somebody's energy, body language, all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and I'm asking you, it's the last time we'll probably ever see each other. And he's like, nah, man, everything's okay. I was like, all right.
All right, dude.
All right.
You had every opportunity.
Every opportunity.
You had
I like
every single opportunity.
Now that I'm a little bit older, I'm 25. That's not a flex. But I have a little bit more knowledge. Slightly. A quarter's worth of knowledge.
A smidge more now.
A smidge more.
Yeah.
And I like to check all the boxes. Like if I'm breaking up with a girl, I'm like, yo, let's talk about everything. You know? All right, I did it. I'm gone. Like that's how I go to sleep now.
Yeah, you want to learn and you want the other person to grow too, you know? It's
like
you want every end to still be meaningful.
You know, I don't want to just hop on Tinder. Like, come on, man. I got to work on myself. But speaking of working on yourself, you cannot do this by yourself. Your team matters. Like when I was starting this podcast, I knew I needed somebody as eccentric, as dedicated, as disciplined, as artistic, as nerdy, as cool as Aaron Salata. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's been a two-man team for almost a fucking year, bro. Almost a fucking year.
We've been through a lot.
A lot of character. A lot of money has been spent. A lot of arguments we've had. You know what I'm saying? So many L's. How many flights of stairs we went up today?
Dude, how many Ubers? How many Ubers?
My shit's
how many
over
missed turns?
Missed turns. When he first moved here, there was so many missed turns.
Oh my god, dude. It's terrible. But yeah, you know, your team is incredibly important.
Yeah, man.
Right? Incredibly important.
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, sir.
It does, dude. There's a lot of value in a team, all right? Especially in filmmaking.
Yeah. I was on one of Aaron's sets, bro. Building character. I was on there for 2 days, but it was still a lot.
Like even like the latest set, The Voice in the Night, incredibly important. Each teammate.
Shout out to the gang.
Shout out.
Is it just you working on all this stuff? Do you collaborate? Like I know you had features on the album and stuff like that, but like on the day-to-day, like do you send somebody music? Because I send somebody poems like late at night all the time.
Yeah, you know, a lot of like the music that I you know, we talked about this earlier. I alluded to this where it's like, okay, I work on a lot of my own beats. A, you know, money. B, it's just something that I'm really enjoying. That being said, you know, I do take a lot of times a very do-it-yourself approach. But obviously, I've got you know, shout out to Frank Yola. He's featured on the album. He actually mixed the vocals.
Hey.
Yeah, you know, shout out to him. He'll send me music sometimes to like, hey, what do you think of this, Skills? And then I'll send him something. And then I'll share it with just some close friends in my life, you know, just like, hey, you know, this is what I'm working on. What do you guys think of this beat? This is kind of like a rough cut of the verse. What do you think? And absolutely, you know, it's important to surround yourself with people who care and they care enough to. The
care factor is big.
Yeah, and they care enough to be able to spare your not spare your feelings if they need to tell you something.
Yeah, man. I've had some hoopla. That I've just slid to Aaron. He's like, "Hey, man, you should work on that." like he didn't shoot me down, but it's like definitely tweak that.
Professors just rip shit apart. Yeah, right? Being like, I expect better. All right, like fix your shit.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's how you grow. You know, it's like, you know, I'd rather people tell me like, "Hey, man, you're about to crash into the wall," rather than crash into the wall and be like, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" It's like, well, because I you know, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, man. You know,
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah. It's like that shit was trash. I didn't want to say anything. And it's like now we're 2 mixtapes in.
Right. Oh, now I'm like 5 mixtapes in. Yeah. I got a tattoo on my face. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah. I don't ever want to, you know, like diss anybody. Like I said, I don't think necessarily that I'm like the fucking best MC ever or anything. You know, I'd like to think I've got my skills. I've got what I got. But like I hear some of these dudes performing, it's like, damn, man, you guys need some more friends in your life to tell you the truth. Like, you guys need some more friends to tell you the brutal truth.
Well, I've had people send me poems and stuff like that.
Each of our mediums,
each medium has stuff like that. Like it's like, oh, okay, no one's gonna say anything to you, at least in your circle. So it's like, damn.
I mean, it's real stuff, and I don't want somebody to tell me. It's like, yo, if I want to keep growing, I need to be able to hear constructive feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we're building platforms. You know, like what we're
Absolutely.
saying, what we're doing. I mean, we're a year in as far as the work and stuff like that, as far as audience and people paying attention and all that stuff. So once you built your platform, now you gotta be serious. You know, you're there now. Like people know you for this thing. Like when I don't think we went a week without dropping something.
No.
So like
There's always been something.
it's always been something, even at our worst, even when like everything's disarray. Like my life sucks, Aaron's life sucks.
Still
Pod
moving.
still came out.
Shit, it'll probably be the zombie
Even if it
apocalypse,
was
and you
something
guys will
older.
still be.
We
Even
talked
if it was
about this.
something
We talked
older.
about it. It was like an earthquake one time we were doing a
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, dude.
It's like one of you guys got up with you. I was like, but the podcast.
But the podcast,
Yeah.
I'm infected. Let's do an infected
Yeah.
pod, bro.
It's
Let's
like,
do
I got 48 hours before I turn. Let's finish it up by
Yeah,
then.
We're on a
Let's-
budget and
let's
a
do
time
like-
schedule. We got to save
Yeah.
this shoot.
We're gonna handcuff you to the mic.
Let's just do like enough episodes for the whole next year. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. We're trying to get
Earthquake
as
starts to
many
go, we're going
episodes.
on.
Maybe
Oh,
by then they'll find a
damn.
cure for the T virus.
Hopefully, bro. We're gonna put him in a box. Hopefully it's not me. That's gonna suck. That's gonna suck, bro. I hate zombies, bro. Only group of people I'm not with. But building a platform is a responsibility. Everybody has a responsibility.
Time and persistence. All right. Growing a successful platform.
Yeah.
Time and persistence.
And then perseverance.
Yeah. Perseverance, especially.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's going to be times where you
Dude.
tested.
We were like at 80 followers. Dark
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
I was getting grinded up in my group chat. It's like, oh, look at your little podcast.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry, man. We keep grinding. We
That's
keep
right.
We're
executing.
going to be a big podcast someday.
One day.
You know they say the
I'm a
fruit.
big boy now.
Right? There's a saying I've always actually liked, and it's like the fruit of labor comes in the right harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
We've been laboring and we've
That's
been
right.
executing. It's all about execution, bro.
You
It
got to
is.
keep plowing those fields, man.
Yes,
You know?
sir.
Yeah.
Execution is the biggest part of it. Like, you'll have an opportunity, but you don't jump on it. You'll have like a feature opportunity. Yo, drive out 5 hours, whatever. But it's a big artist and it's a big opportunity, so you gotta execute, right? You know, it's been times where I didn't have certain things, right? I bought that shit. Put myself in the red.
Yeah.
Execution. I gotta get it now.
Yeah.
You know? Because if I wait, I'm fucked. It's like when I was coming over to LA. I was so like everything. And I got on a plane, executed.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go, man. You can't, keep thinking and, deciding. You just gotta be decisive and strike while the iron's hot sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You got to take calculated risks, And sometimes you got to be willing to go the extra mile.
Yes, sir. Couple thousand extra miles we here though, life and times.
We are.
Learn it as you go. I mean, bro, I sucked at poems. Like when I first started, 7th grade. I love you, maybe. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. The rhyme scheme was trash. People were nice.
All our early shit.
All the early
my early
stuff.
shit.
All
my
the
early
early
shit for
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
I
All
think
the
that's
early stuff.
everybody. Like I look back at some of my earlier bars, it's like, oh god, this is like cringe.
Rap, cat,
No.
tap
You know?
with a bat.
Yeah.
It's like learning to walk in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're
it
like, we're
is.
stumbling.
Because like
We're
everybody's
stumbling.
imagine learning how to walk, but everybody's watching you walk and talking shit the whole time.
And
Right.
comparing
So
it
it's
to like the greatest thing, right?
yeah. It's like, no, that dude who's walking.
You're not
before
Ernest
you,
Hemingway. What is it? It's like, of course I'm not gonna be
bro.
right now,
I was
right?
born in 1997, dog.
Right.
Come
Like
on.
coming to fuck,
One
I'm
dude- I
not
had
fucking Steven Spielberg
Bro,
here.
it's not gonna
all right?
happen overnight, bro. We don't even have those budgets.
No.
It's like you're 7
Right.
and like Rolling Stone magazine tears your poem apart. It's
Oh,
like, bro,
yeah.
I'm 7.
I'm
Like,
7,
You know?
big dog.
Like Picasso was once
Picasso.
16,
Yeah.
all right?
yeah. He was just a
He was-
preteen. You're like, come on, bro.
Just scribbling shit
Give
on
him
a page.
break. Nah.
Funny
No.
thing is sometimes you'll still do a better job than some of these critics. But hey,
Oh,
It is
well,
what
the
it
thing
is,
about
yeah.
those critics and people talking shit, they're not in the arena.
right?
I've accepted
Yeah.
that, like, I'm in a sport that will be spectated by people who don't take risks.
right.
You
Yeah.
don't take the risks, I don't really care.
There's gonna be good
to
criticism.
honest.
There's gonna be bad criticism. You just gotta learn like what to filter through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What will like actually improve your process or your product in a sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, start talking origins, talking learning. Who was your initial influence? The first person you learned from,
With regards to like music or just
Music or life. You can do a duo. This is a
Sure.
podcast.
All right,
tell
all right.
tell your story, sir.
all right. Let me. Well, I'll start out because it's kind of more on my mind right now. So we're talking about music wise. I think I mentioned, Jedi Mind Tricks, Vinny Paz. Is like hands down probably like my favorite MC. big fan of his music. And just a lot of, I grew up in LA, but I'll be honest, like a lot of what I gravitated to was more East Coast oriented, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I love good hip hop from any region. I love a lot of, I just saw the Far Side a few months ago, they're one of my favorites. And a lot of Canadian rappers, Snack the Ripper, Mad Child, I'm sporting the hat.
Yeah.
I don't know if the listeners can't see, but I got to give it to, like, obviously the East Coast, Wu-Tang, Jedi Mind, and everything that I explored thereafter was what really inspired me. Because, I mean, look, there's no shame. That's Mecca. That's Mecca for hip hop.
Yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah, so it's like, look, man, I got pride that I grew up here and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I got to be objective. I got to give it to the East Coast, in terms of keeping it lyrically raw for a long time,
Yeah.
And so basically, like, that was obviously a huge influence on me. A lot of those East Coast underground MCs. But then also, if I'm being honest, I would always think back to a lot of MCs and a lot of rappers that I heard even as a kid growing up in LA. There's a station, Power 106, and I used to listen to as a kid before I was even really that much into rap or anything. They would play Coolio, they played LL Cool J and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. LA Cool J, man. How big was he, like, when you were coming
Oh,
up?
yeah. Like, I could still, like, see the video, doing it well.
Yeah.
Represent Queen. She was raised down,
Yes, it was
like,
different.
Yeah, no, it was dope. And this was, of course, back in the era in the 90s when Power 106 still played actual hip hop. For those who like, Power 106 plays hip hop. It's like, yeah, they used to at some point.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Every
Every now and then there's a flashback hour, but yeah.
Remember when we were good?
Right. But yeah, no, in terms of influence, and then honestly, in terms of like overall life influence, my dad, my mom, obviously, it's a kind of very generic answer, but we're first generation immigrants, so it's like they literally came with me to the U.S. when I was 4 years old. We immigrated from Ukraine, and it was like, I can't imagine how hard it was for them to have to acclimate to a whole new culture. My dad had to he started work as a pizza delivery guy, working late nights, updating his computer credentials and stuff. So it was hard. My mom had to work in a deli store for a while. So trying to, make ends meet as this new culture, learning the language. I've always admired that, and then, and even
that's
later
an American story, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah.
That's how we all got here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, so it's exactly, and it's one of those things. Just the story of the human struggle and persevering, and my grandparents coming over and them having to struggle to try their best to support us because we were struggling. So it was just, I know family is a very generic thing, but it's true. I mean, there's still to this very day just that effort and perseverance is always been a huge influence on me. And just people in general overcoming struggles. Hearing about other people that I hear sharing about their struggles of addiction and how they overcame it, their struggles with mental health, and just persevering to overcome that. That's kind of what inspires me. A lot of the stuff that I write is kind of more of the hardcore stuff. But then I also find inspiration to write some of the personal stuff. I've got stuff that's also like personal, and that's where I draw that inspiration from. Is just the story of the human condition, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. What about you, dude?
Oh, my initial influences, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I do poetry, but it was rap. Like Jay-Z, Beanie Siegel. I grew up during that era of rap. AI. That's when everything was popping, 2000s. But it was, I mean, as far as life influences, it's my pops. Hands down. And then it's my grandfather. And for two different reasons. My pops, he never let whatever was going on. Sometimes it was tough. Sometimes it was rough. I'm not going to get too crazy because my parents did work very hard. I didn't face all the hardships I could have faced in my area. So, my pops never in his life made me feel like I wasn't safe or that something couldn't be joked or laughed about. Like, the worst thing could happen and we'll find some humor into it. And when I'm doing that and when I'm facing adversity, building character, I got that line from my pops, by the way. So just that part of life, like facing any type of adversity, and I turn it into humor or make it lighter than it is, I'm moving my pops' energy. I'm influenced by that. As far as poets, Langston Hughes for sure. That's like one of my goals.
I'd say like initial influences in terms of like my creative voice. I'd say like Rod Serling definitely had like a big influence on me. David Fincher, Seth MacFarlane, they all had like a hand in like kind of shaping my voice in like my early days there. But I'd also say family. I'm gonna hop onto that. My mother, father, and especially my I'd say my college professors definitely. Yeah. I had kind of entered college with like a thirst for knowledge, and like I wanted to get shit done. I wanted to do something. I wanted to get out of this town or whatever. And a lot of those like college professors kind of like helped steer me in the right direction. Right. So I want to say, yeah, a lot of them were my initial influences. The reason why I write the way I do today.
Yeah, man. Shout out teachers.
Shout out.
A lot of teachers that changed my life, man.
Mentors
for real. I had teachers. I was going to a really bad school, and this dude, he was like, "Listen, man, you don't have to be like this or act like that, and just be you, basically." And I did some things. I performed in front of people, shared a poem or whatever. Yeah. And that kind of got me into the ball rolling. I'm like, all right. So shout out Mr. F.
Absolutely. No, I get it. Do you think is it all right if I have one quick thing?
For sure.
To the influence thing, because it's one of those things where it's like I wanted to
get in there.
Absolutely, I wanted to bring it up just briefly, you know, and I realized there's so much obviously that I can say as what influences I'm sure both of you as well.
Yeah, I didn't. When we have a guest, we try not to overshadow. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Of course, it's one of those things where it's like I realized, like, man, I should have mentioned that in terms of like my music. You know, I'm a fan of hip hop. But I'm also, you know, and I'm not ashamed to say this, I'm also kind of a nerd. And so for me, it's like a lot of, I like to think, you know, I make music first and foremost as a fan for fans, you know, right? And so one of the biggest things is a lot of various media influences, like a lot of anime influence. You know, I'm a big anime fan.
I know, I'm big in anime,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. You know, I mean, shit, like my first album, I didn't count exactly, like 5 or 6 of the beats that I made are samples from animes, you know, and the second one is going to have also a lot. And then 3 out of the 4 audio clips that I have are audio clips from little dub portions of certain animes, right? So
like which ones?
Oh, you know, well, the opening one, I mean, it's literally the first track on the album is this little opening speech that I cut and then just put is from Attack on Titan.
Okay.
And then actually I had the idea where I was listening to the speech and then I heard the melody in the background. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I start off the album like that with this really epic speech by a general giving into his soldiers about to like march into this suicide charge. Basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, and then the melody in the next first actual track on the album is I made a beat with that melody. And so it just, I feel like it's kind of like an epic start to the album.
Nah, bro. Yeah. I mean, that market's blowing up too. Like if you started focusing strictly on anime, hip hop base, that's starting to mix and meld a lot.
Well, I do like, you know, like I said, if it comes to me like some anime kind of influence, I find a lot of them just make really good samples for beats.
For sure.
You know, the music is really creative. A lot of just overall a lot of different influences. Horror movies. You know, I got a horrorcore track on my first album. You know, shout out to Urge 7, Frank Yola. They're on the track, and yeah. So just you know, movies. You talked about David Fincher. You know, it's just a lot of things. Just a hodgepodge of various influences over the years of stuff that I like. Yeah, just a smorgasbord. You know.
Oh, that is a good word.
Yeah,
I'm still in it. Hodgepodge.
Feel free. Hey,
absolutely. I'm just use
everybody.
That
You just witnessed it, right? You just witnessed it here.
That's how I pick up words. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge.
I maybe we'll just re-reference this in future episodes too.
Yeah, no,
it's like
hodgepodge.
Next week,
right?
Hodgepodge podcast
Hodgepodge
featuring gills. It's like, what?
Gills. Can you breathe it through? Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's break through, man. Let's break through stagnation. I felt like I never put out Secluded when I was supposed to. I should have put it out when I was 19. I still have this critique against myself. I wrote my initial first book and I never put it out. I got one bad, like, I got a no, right? I was young, shit was going on, and it hit me hard. I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna put it up. And I wait for 3 years. 3 years. I will never get that time back. So now I approach all my projects and everything I'm involved with artistically with urgency.
Yeah. No time like the present.
Yeah, no time like the present, bro. And that's how I broke through stagnation. It's just a hard thing to do, bro. Because those 3 years, I was doing nothing. Like, as far as like the artistic thing, I was just out and about doing shit, you know, school and all that. But still, I felt like I could have done it earlier. Could have, you know, I had connections in Penn State and stuff like that. It was a whole poetry club. Don't miss that whole opportunity. So I'll never forget that.
What we learn though. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
we learn as we go.
We learn.
Right. Yeah.
Learn as we go.
But yeah, never forget that.
You know, I mean, hey, the bitter lessons are sometimes like the most valuable ones.
They are.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's
plenty of bitter lessons. Plenty of bitter
Oh,
lessons.
yeah.
Plenty of bitter lessons.
It's tasty how bitter this thing gets.
Yeah.
But what about you, Aaron? How did you break through stagnation? I know that was
I'd
like
say,
a big
recently,
thing during like COVID and
recently, yeah, like actually having COVID.
everything.
There we
He
go.
had to go. He had to regress to the
Like,
norm. He had to get to this eye of the storm.
Yeah, I didn't have it like the easy, right? Just like, just a little, nah, bro. Like
Wow,
it
the full
fucked
spectrum, huh?
me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, bro. He was out for 2 weeks. I was
Dude.
interviewing
Damn.
people. I was in
Yeah.
the streets, bro.
I had like a fever of like 102,
Oh,
like
man.
reaching 103 region. I was like, bruh.
Bro, it would take him like a day to respond to one text. I'm like, fuck.
I
fam.
was like,
I was about to come over here.
yeah, I just straight up don't remember a few days there.
Oh,
I don't. So
man.
it was some wild shit. But like when I remember like just feeling really bad. I was
Yeah,
like,
that
damn,
sucks,
bro,
man. Sorry,
I'm
yeah.
stuck here. If this gets worse, it's just only downhill from here. But like, fuck, I'm sitting around. I've wasted a lot of time. Now I need to like hop on something now. Like you need to get
Yeah.
started. You need to get back up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
that broke through my stagnation.
What about
About
you,
you
my
guys?
guy?
I guess, and I'm thinking like how to best answer this, because the thing is like I do get stagnant a lot, especially with my music. It's if I'm being honest with myself and whoever's listening, it's something like for me. I've also told myself that, you know, if I'm pushing myself to a point where this starts to feel like a chore, then I don't see the point in it, because I don't want this music stuff to ever feel like it's a chore. I always
Yeah.
want to feel like there's a certain passion underneath it. And so I'll go periods of a time, you know, having stuff like record on my phone. Like what I'll do is like the way I come up with bars is like literally random times throughout the day. I'll think of something and I'll record on my phone. And I've got like right now, literally if you look at my phone, I got like 700 like little memos, you know,
Yeah.
audio recordings of just stuff I need to go through and flesh out. You know, it's like, oh, that's cool. I should add this. Oh, and that's a weak bar. No, it ain't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go periods of time, and then all of a sudden something will strike. And I'll be honest, performing live has really helped me break through stagnation or periods where I've been stagnant, because you know, I loved putting my, you know, an album out there, and it was a great feeling. You know, it was more importantly a learning experience. But I'll be real. Like my favorite feeling of all is being live on stage and just rocking the mic. And
Yeah,
then
that
just-
crowd energy is different.
yeah, and it's like, you know, whether it's a small crowd or a medium crowd, whatever the capacity is, and just to have people coming afterwards and be like, yo, man, I feel you, man. I vibe with you. That was fucking dope, man. You know, I'm not again putting myself in any sort of pedestal here, but you know, thank you for spitting that real shit. Thank you for
Yeah,
you know,
no, it's a
representing.
shared experience.
Yeah, thank you for representing like real hip hop. It's like, yo, man, I can only do what inspires me. You know, like I'm
Yeah.
not doing this for any accolades, but thank you for saying that. It's a real big deal. And so that
Dope.
pushes me to then I feel inspired to kind of like, you know, pick up the pen and pad and, you know, scribble some shit down and, you know, maybe get an idea. This idea I've been swirling around for a beat, you know, finally like sit down, make time. Because, you know, we get so caught up in our lives today.
You
There's
do.
getting pulled in a million different directions. I know I am. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I'll have an idea for months. Like, man, I should really try to, you know, make a beat out of this sample, or, you know, I have this idea for this kind of a track, and I just won't get around to it because, you know, just like at the end of the day, I'm tired, man. I just want to,
Go to sleep.
yeah, just
understandable.
watch
Work
something.
was trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what
What's
it
going
is.
on in this season, this show?
Yeah,
That's how I ended up watching Stranger Things.
there you go. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was supposed to be writing that day.
You know,
Man.
I
Hey
feel
man,
like
it is what it
that's-
is. But hey, one thing I found too is like it's funny because like even when I do periods like that, like not going to go too much detail, but this track I'm working on with some fellow MCs right now.
Yes, sir.
I was watching this anime on Netflix recently, and it's like I got the I heard this.
Vinland Saga.
What's that? No, that's
Okay.
dope. I love Vinland
All
Saga, but no, it was actually this other show, Spriggan.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it good?
It's okay. It's a decent six
saw it,
episode
I was like,
action.
yeah.
I'm a fan of the '98 movie. If anybody hasn't seen it, that's some of the best action animation ever. I mean, like I don't want to say like the movie's like great in terms of plot and character.
No.
It's just a good action movie. The Spriggan movie from '98 is fucking dope. The animation. I mean, you gotta understand. This is from an era where 2D animators and cell animators were amazing. Like, we don't get. It's way too expensive to have that level of quality of animation nowadays because everything's digital. But
I don't know. You see the 3D printed shit we got now?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah,
getting
no,
wild.
but I'll be watching and I'll hear something and then I'll be inspired to like make a beat out of it. Now I just like made one and it's like, yo man, this is like really dope. And so I feel like sometimes even those breaks serve to fuel the inspiration later
Gestation
down the line.
period.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's best to come back to something after a while, as you said, gestate. And every artist is gonna have, I guess, periods of stagnation. That's just the
Yes.
cycle.
There's no
That's
way
the
around
cycle.
it. Man, what's your thoughts on popular mainstream media / art? Like what everybody's into, I just saw the new Thor. I didn't like it. I'm sorry.
All right. I'll be honest, most of it I don't like.
Okay, all right. So like
don't
I
know.
said it, I'm like, man,
End of the
we're
answer.
about to argue on the pod. But yeah,
No, it fucking sucks.
it did.
Yeah, no, it depends. I mean, I don't want to be one of those like, haters, like just like, oh, it's popular, I hate it. And I'll be all frumpy. No, if something's dope, I'll always I like what I like.
If it's
Yeah.
good, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, look, in terms of like music, because again, that's kind of like my art kind
Yeah,
of.
your
but,
lane.
Yeah, but this goes for other things as well. But in terms of like music, I like all genres. Like I can't think of like a single genre where there's not at least something I like. I mean, I got really back into EDM shows in the last few years. I didn't realize there was, like I said, funny, the gyms closed down in 2020, so I started jogging a lot. And I find EDM is a really cool genre to jog to because it has a good constant beat and I don't get distracted by lyrics because I'll start focusing on lyrics and I'll lose my pace and stuff. But I really got into, EDM, discovered the subgenre of EDM called Complexure that has become like hands down my favorite. I love ska. I just went to see Streetlight Manifesto last week. I love all types of music. And so for me, it's like I don't ever want to like pigeonhole myself into not liking something just because of what the popular or unpopular opinion is. I want to like what I want to like. I want to like what speaks to me. And so, for me, it's the same for other mediums. So it's like if something's popular. I mean, you mentioned Stranger Things. Like, it's popular.
Fire.
I like
Fire.
Stranger Things, man.
Yes.
I was running up that hill.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I love it. It's a love letter to the 80s, man. It's influenced by one of my favorite anime mangas, Akira. I could see the clear influence, It's like, so for me, it's like, I fucks with it. I like it. I like it a lot. And so just because it's popular, I never want to be the person that says, oh, well, I only like that niche stuff that nobody else has ever heard about. Right?
No. I think some people like develop their personality on hating things that are
Right.
popular. I've run into these
Yeah.
guys. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they eat. I feel like it's this bland oatmeal every day because like you have to experience something to develop an opinion.
Here's
Right.
the thing. It's popular for a reason.
Right.
It's
Right.
making
Popular
some money,
for
bro.
a reason.
It's making
People
some money. So
like
Smeckles
it.
are over there, bro.
People like it.
You see a bunch of people, it's a bunch of Smeckles. So just pay
Honestly,
attention.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
be aware.
Be aware of the Smeckles being made
Be
over
aware.
there. Like,
All right.
man. Speaking of Smeckles, it's gonna take discipline, okay, to make your money, to get where you're going, to do whatever you want to do. Every day, try. Might not get anything on the page. Might not get anything written down. Might not shoot anything good. I'm a up and coming TikToker. Got 3 TikToks out now, so I'm up and coming. So everything's a TikTok to me, even this conversation. But it's gonna take discipline.
eat, sleep.
Am I going to be a
Breathe.
viral audio
TikTok.
clip?
Hopefully, bro. Hopefully.
It's like I didn't know that was going to be my path to success, TikTok. But hey, we take those.
Bro, we're taking
We'll
all
take that.
avenues, bro.
Yeah.
I'm attacking all the
Sir,
algos, bro.
we accept those here.
Is that Smeckles? Yes. Is Smeckles over there? Yes.
Yes.
Send me there where
Come
the
on,
Smeckles
let's
are.
go.
TikTok, yes. YouTube, yes. Spotify, yes.
All of them.
Whatever's replacing TikTok in a year, yes,
yeah,
we'll take that
yes.
too. Yeah.
What happened to Snapchat?
Put
yes.
it in the shopping cart. We'll take it.
Put it right in there. And Amazon, shot list. Man. But nah, man, discipline. Every week, we get this done. It's a hallmark. It actually pushes us in our other projects and stuff like that.
It does.
So, I don't know, man. Like, you're going to have to do something hard. It's going to suck, but you're going to have to do it. You know, I'm trying to get into working out, eating clean, drinking water, all this weird stuff. But,
every day, all right? You're pushing a rock up a hill. Every day.
Sisyphus lifestyle.
Yep.
Roll back
down.
Yeah, but you
Roll
gotta
back
keep
down.
pushing
right
it.
back
Yeah.
up. Let's go.
Roll back down, eat some Doritos and hot chews right now. As soon as you said those, I was like, yeah, I'm breaking that
Here
diet.
we go.
There you go.
I'm eating the pizza upstairs too, man.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck, man.
Little Caesars.
I'm gonna start next week.
That's the spirit. You know?
That's the spirit, right?
It's like they say, procrastinators of the world unite tomorrow.
Yeah,
Bro,
dude.
but consistency is key.
Yeah.
We keep going at it
Dude, bro.
and try to get through these false supporters, bro. That's the biggest thing I wanted to talk about. Like,
Sifting through.
we're getting through them,
Sifting
bro.
through 'em.
Every Monday, I gotta deal with a false supporter. I'm like, bro,
Look.
listen. I know you want to be nice, or you seem like you think it's nice. I need directness so I can be effective. You know, I need to know who likes this
Yeah.
and who doesn't, so I can sing. You know,
So I can listen to the opinions.
so I can actually give a fuck about your opinion. Because if you don't
I
like
need the
this
feedback.
and you're just dabbing because you want to dab somewhere else. I gotta know.
Go elsewhere with your dab. Okay.
Yeah, go somewhere else with your dab. I don't need it.
I don't need no yes men. Right?
No yes men at
No.
all, bro.
Yeah.
You don't like the pod? Cool,
No.
thank you. Now, what part of the pod don't you like?
What can we improve here?
What can we improve here?
What would you like
just,
to hear?
just blurring out some shit. Like, or, hey, Nate, I fuck with you. Oh, no, I don't really.
Oh, yeah.
Found out later. Did
Yeah.
you take an L over there?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
No,
All right, cool.
We're on L alert at all times.
Yeah,
everybody.
man. Sometimes we drop our phones, you
L
know.
alert.
Wait, we didn't smack the mics or anything.
I did earlier, everyone.
The headphones have been like trying to fuck up, but I'm like gently moving it to the better spot. But yeah, if you don't support, like, for real, then don't support it at all, bro. I don't got time. I
Sure.
really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like on a personal relationship level. Like, figure it out. I don't have the time, bro. I have to
Right.
focus on things. We working 60 hours a week, bro.
Yeah, life's too short.
Life's too
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
So there's that. In creative phases, man, I used to think like writing, coming home from the bar was the best shit ever.
That's the process.
That's my process, bro.
That's it. It's the
trash.
only way.
Right.
Trash. I wake up early,
This is the way.
had some water. Oh, we're busting down some poems. Like, it's just like you'll find your phases and come in and out of them. Just don't, like, demonize or beautify whatever you're doing.
Yeah, everybody has a different process. All right. Definitely understand there. There's a point. Drinking a lot of wine.
Yeah, dude,
yeah. This is artist lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm an
We're
artist,
We're
bro.
gonna
drink
type a
wine,
screenplay up.
you
We're gonna
know?
drink a whole bunch of wine.
Everybody else did it. All the famous guys did it. Why can't I do
it?
it?
Nah.
Not that guy.
Sometimes you just type in garbage.
Yeah, you talking hoopla.
You just type in goppity goop.
Everybody's got a different creative process.
Yeah.
You know? Might not work for you.
You gotta try out multiple avenues.
Find out your process doesn't work
Find
for
your
you.
process.
You might actually be
Right?
better off the sauce.
Off the
All right?
sauce,
You'll
yeah.
have different phases
Ever
of your
had an
writing.
apple?
Different phases of your creative voice. All right, it'll change like you will change.
Yeah. Because I definitely don't feel like when I started all this is 19, totally different.
Different. I was interested in different genres, different this and that. Like artists typically are. Art just changes over time.
Who's the top 5 in your art form, bro?
Oof, that's a loaded question.
Top 5, no hurt feelings, no
all right.
list for real. Just
right.
top 5 people you can think of right now. No pressure. This isn't a
Okay.
real list. Please don't go after
Sure.
Gills.
Do groups count? Do
Yes,
they count?
go
Okay,
ahead.
because
Yeah, go ahead.
collectives are kind of
Yeah,
like,
collectives are big.
so as mentioned,
Has to
Ju-
be Wu-Tang, right?
Well, I would say bigger for me personally. I realize Jedi Mind Tricks / Vinny Paz, because I feel like that is Jedi Mind Tricks. You know, that's the core. I mean, he's worked with Stoop and a lot of other. Just Allah was part of it for a while, but I want to say Jedi Mind Tricks / Vinny Paz. Then Wu-Tang Clan, definitely. Like they're shout out to basically they pretty much I feel created the modern hardcore style. I know there might be hip hop here saying, oh, technically they didn't. It's like, look. As far as I'm concerned, for me, they did.
I feel like people when we talk hip hop or rap or lists and shit like that, it turns into World War III.
Right? Yeah, of course.
We all grew up different.
Yeah. Well, it's people are passionate. People are passionate about this, and I can totally understand. I'm part of some Facebook groups like underground hip hop only, and then they'll shit gets heated. It's like, oh, how could you not include this dude on the list? And I get it. People are passionate, but for me, those two acts, again, as mentioned. A lot of the East Coast, I gotta say, Apathy is like definitely again, this god tier MC for me. I want to say R.A. the Rugged Man. Okay. He's definitely up there, and for me, it's again this act, it's a combination. I don't know if you guys know about Felt, but I was listening to a lot of them in the 2000s. The first 2 albums, classics, and that's basically Slug from Atmosphere and Merce from formerly of Living Legends, and I feel like there's artists that when they come together and work with certain artists, it's like they both bring out their A game.
A duo.
Yeah. So Felt, they just actually released the 4th album, Felt for You, like a year or something ago, and that was pretty tight too. So I would say if I'm just limiting it to acts that I feel like are my personal favorites and definitely really made me want to get into this, I would say those. But then, if we kind of keep going, there's local MCs that I'm a huge admirer of. Just like dudes that, people across the country don't know about. They're local MCs. And just to give a quick shout out, like Robles the one. He's a dude I've performed with a lot of shows, so he's really sick with it. He brings that, style that I really can relate to, that underground, raw, rough style, that I really fucks with a lot. There's a lot of great other local MCs, can't think of necessarily at the moment, but so stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I can't. It's hard for me to limit it to just like 5, but just off the top of my head, those are definitely in top rank for me. Yeah,
I feel you. Aaron's gonna be trash at this list. He's not much of a music listener. He's more into film. He's like,
I brought top 5 filmmakers for me.
Hey man,
that's what I'm saying. So this top 5 filmmakers.
Films influence my music,
right?
So like,
I feel like it's all it mixes. This pot mixes.
Yeah.
But top 5 rap for me. Now I was born in 1997, East Coast bias, so it has to be number 1 rapper. Now I'm not saying lyricist, rapper for me, Jay-Z.
Okay.
2 right after that is Nas. Nas, like, first album really did some things.
Dude, I was just listening to Illmatic on the way here.
Yeah. Bro, it's just, it is still current. It's still current.
You know what? If I can please, if I can please add number 6 to that, because I must, I would have to say Nas, all his stuff from the 90s.
Did you hear his new albums, like
King's Disease?
Oh my God.
Oh, it's great. If I'm being honest, his 90s stuff for me will always hold a special place in my heart. Like, Illmatic, Stillmatic, Nas I Am, but I could see like he still is carrying that torch. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But all right. Jay-Z, Nas, big, heavy Philly bias, Beanie, especially when it was this era, because like it was a time in Philadelphia where you couldn't go outside without hearing Beanie sing.
Yeah, Broad Street Billy. Man.
Broad Street Billy. Yeah, I actually lived.
Dude, he collabs with Vinny Paz. Yeah, because Vinny's from Philly. So,
see,
yeah.
Shout out to Philly artists for real. Yeah. But 4 and 5 probably be Outkast, and then like to say a group, because I already said I have 2 New York guys, 1 Philly guy, and then Outkast, so that's Atlanta. So just to round out my list, West Coast probably Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
If I was doing a new guy list, it'd be totally different.
Yeah.
Like a 2010 till now. And that's totally different to now. But like ever for me, those top 5 right there. Then everybody else, like J. Cole, honestly, like personally, if I take it 2010 to now, J. Cole's number 1 for me. Okay. Then it goes number 2, Drake. Number 3, Kendrick. I could say 4, Big Sean. But like he just doesn't hit those top 3. Like far as his album impact, it's different. It's very different.
Yeah.
And then Mac Miller to round out my 5 for 2010 to 2022.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Yeah.
That's easy. Damn, dude.
But what about you? Top 5 for your filmmaking? Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Shout out Langston Hughes. Shout out Maya Angelou. Yeah. Shout out Brikowski. It's a lot of artists that I take from and try to get your aesthetic and energy from, especially Maya Angelou. She has a line about thinning gin. I had a line about thickening gin, and that's on the next thing. Shout out to Circus. But
there we go. These are my personal 5. All right, we got Rod Serling. All right, okay. I think he definitely broke a lot of boundaries early on. Big kind of beacon for screenwriting for me growing up. Jordan Peele. I think we're watching a legend being formed, and
he
that
flipped the genre
at the end of his career. I don't even know what kind of bombs he'll be leaving. You know what I mean? Like, this is shit we'll be talking about for
both
decades.
sides of the mask too.
Yeah,
comedy and horror.
Yeah. Then David Sandberg, who's just kind of getting started, but like I've seen a lot of his like early horror works, and I think like once he's given the opportunity, he can. I think he's gonna do some good shit. I think he's got some good shit coming. James Wan, all right. Okay. Made like Conjuring, right? Yeah, Conjuring. You know,
I can't watch.
He's done a lot for horror. He's done a lot for horror, modern horror especially. Yeah. And then John Carpenter, all right, made Halloween. Nice. You know, The Thing is for obvious reasons. A lot of horror inspiration there. But those are my personal 5. Okay,
the OGs. Any last statements, guys? Anything you want to say?
Dude, thank you for being on the show. Yeah. All right, this has been fantastic.
This has been a great episode, bro. Thank you for stopping by the Life of Tom. Sincerely,
yeah.
You know, I know us BSing or trying to get things to the right way, right things in flux, but we got it here today, and I'm appreciative that you came. Seriously,
and I'm appreciative of you guys hosting me. So thank you for that. Yeah,
of course, dude. Do you have any last statements?
You know, I guess. I just want people to like be able to realize that it's okay not to take things too seriously.
Oh, know? For sure.
Oh yeah.
I know we live in an age where, you know, I was just thinking of this on the way here, where it's like, if I could just briefly say, you know, like I make this type of music, but then I also, you know, work like in mental health, and I always kind of like have to put like a thing on my Spotify, even saying like, yo, this is just a character. Like, right. Please understand that this, you know, some of this is maybe truthful about some things I've been through, and then other aspects of it is just things. Yeah, it's just it's like playing a Scarface persona. It's like, you know, you're not going to go see a horror movie to see Jason or Michael Myers talk it out in therapy. You're gonna go see him to stab some motherfuckers in creative ways, right? So I feel like yeah, and so it's like, if I could just say something about that, it's like, it's something I was thinking, because I saw recently, you know, some arguments on a Facebook group. Kind of relating to that, and it just made me think like, look, guys, you know, it's all well and good, obviously, to stand up for social cause, and I fully support that, but you know, understand that there's art, right? And I feel
nuance.
Yeah, and I feel like with hip hop, and it's unfortunate still that it's still like very vilified in our society.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's rock songs talking about murdering, sacrificing, all that shit. Let's play it up, bro. Yeah. You hear a rap song, it's an issue. So yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. So they just try to take that out of the a law to stop rappers from getting arrested because of their lyrics.
Yeah, no, it's like, it's nonsense, and I just want people to realize, like, look, it's just art, and sometimes, you know, hey, if you can't appreciate something, I get it, but you know, don't try to necessarily insinuate that, you know, art is like 100% representative of everything that the artist is. It's like, no, it's an amalgam of influences, and it's just, you got to learn how to like not take things seriously, you know, just to kind of, you know, at the end of the day, it's just designed for people to be able to enjoy. I make my music for people, like I said, as a fan of hip hop, for fans of hip hop, or for fans of music in general. And so that's just kind of like what I want to say, is that, hey, you got to learn how to not take yourself or life too seriously sometimes. So
I feel you on that. You got any projects coming up? Anybody? Any tour dates or anything that's going on? Anywhere you about to go first?
All right. Well, thank you. I guess I'm always looking for shows to perform at. So it's one of those things. I don't have like, you know, I'm not like an actual tour, because, you know, I'll be real. Like, look, I love music, and it's my passion, but I got other things going on in my life. You know, it's like, so it's one of those things where, you know, I just performed at Beverly Hills at the Attitude Lounge like a week or something ago. Shout out to Blue Panda Promotions for putting me on, and then so just I'm always like working and looking for local promoters to do shows with. I'm hoping I used to do a lot of Valley shows, and I'm hoping to like get back into that because I grew up in the Valley, aka the Great 1-8, as I call
home
it.
is home.
Yeah, so I mean I stay in West LA now, but it's like this is still where my heart belongs, I feel. And I'm honestly looking to try to get outside of LA more.
Like OC or what?
I did a few shows in OC recently. Shout out to Mike Hempstead. He put me on a few shows at the OC, Sunset Beach, Lava Bar in Santa Ana, and there was one other venue. I just can't remember at the minute, but it was in the OC. And so I'm trying to kind of venture a little bit outside of LA too, and ultimately like wherever it takes me. And in terms of overall projects, I'm working up some beats right now. I'm getting other MCs on some tracks. I'm fleshing out the tracks, so I'm really excited, honestly.
Here we go.
A lot of what I learned from the first album, like I said, the best way to summarize was it was a great experience, but it was a learning experience. So I'm going to apply a lot of what I learned from that towards this follow-up project, and I'm just really excited the way it's going. I mean, there's going to be a lot of hardcore stuff, but then also I'm going to diversify more. So, stay tuned.
Do we have a title?
I will say the title.
This is a Life and Times exclusive?
I will honor
It's a
you
Life
guys.
and Times exclusive?
I will honor you guys with the... No, I'm just joking.
Life and Times. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Life and Times exclusive. So the album is going to be titled Lost Coordinates.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yes.
Let's get found.
Yeah.
All 18 tracks.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's not
who
18.
knows how many tracks are going to end up being, but I've got a lot of ideas, and right now it's just about plugging away at it. So, yeah.
Here we
Okay.
go.
I know Aaron's cooking on something. I don't know if you got
I
anything
got
to say.
something. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was working on something there for a while. It was kind of putting me in a low spot there, so I kind of pivoted, and I'm trying to work on something that's reflective. It's a coming of age. All right, it's summertime. I'm experimenting a little bit with comedy. All right, I'm excited about it, and I'm grabbing a lot from my late teenage years. All right, in Central PA. So if you knew me around that time, all right,
Young Aaron.
you may find yourself in the script. Who knows? But the title there is That One Summer. All right, that's what I'm cooking up. What about you?
Oh, you already know, bro. You've been gestating for a minute. I usually drop a book every year since that 3-year drift. But Circus is on the way, bro.
Dude,
Circus is on the way.
we're ready for it too.
And we've been delving deep into like the folly and the growth of my early 20s. Because when I got to LA, this is the most adult and mature I have ever been. These past 2 years. Every other year, Walden. Aaron, how many times you picked me up?
Dude, we were wild, dude.
Walden. Brother.
We had no responsibilities.
No
back
responsibilities, bro. Mommy, hey, help.
Ah.
I need some money. Help.
I can drive around town.
Let's just drive around town. Let's just
it.
cruise.
It takes
Let's
5
just
minutes.
cruise, man. Let's sit on our kitchen floor and talk for 8 hours.
Yeah.
I can't waste 8 hours to save my
Speaking
fucking
of
life.
which, I remember on that kitchen floor,
Yeah.
the original idea he had for this one. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a conversation. So, like, basically, circus is going to be chapters sliced up by events that happen at a circus. So, we got bumper cars. We have roller coasters. We have funhouse mirrors, the star shooting game, and then clowns.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's different chapters, and each poem will be like an anthology thing based upon my life and my experiences during those times.
That's
I
awesome.
won't delve too deep, but I think my favorite one and the one I learned the most from is clowns, because I use humor to negate a lot of my personal
Sure.
problems.
Here we go.
So
Yeah, if you can't laugh at yourself sometimes.
Yeah, right?
You gotta,
life is tough.
that is.
It's life and times.
The life of times is a little tough, but shout out everybody that's tapping
Shout
in.
out.
Shout out to anybody that walk up
Shout
on me
out
and
to
tell
our
me about the
listeners.
pod. Shout out everybody that's subbing. We just hit 14 plus.
All our
1400.
IG subs too.
IG subs almost at that time as well.
What?
So we're just grinding. We need 4,000 hours of watched hours on public YouTube, and then we can monetize. And we're already at 1,200. So,
Let's go.
we're working. Shout out everybody that's tapping in. Never tap out. This is the Life of Times. Have a great night.
Good night.
Take care.
Woo!
Hot off the press.